Hey guys, Mission Prepared here. Just a couple little things. Well, they're really not little, but so for whatever reason, the U.S. is preparing for some sort of attack on our soil. Which, I mean, we've already seen it. We're seeing cyber attacks. We're seeing substations attacked. We're seeing all kinds of stuff go on, but they're ramping up like crazy. But there's something I wanted to talk to you guys about as far as getting prepared. Obviously, you know, that's what my channel's about. So the most critical thing you guys could do, I think, is stock up on food. This weekend, I'm going to go to Walmart because they have a gigantic bag of dried beans. I'm probably getting, and they're only like $14.99 a bag, gigantic bag. So I'm probably going to buy a couple of those. That way I just have, you know, a little bit more. But the biggest thing you guys could stock up on is food right now, because one of the biggest things the U.S. is preparing for is a countrywide grid down scenario. That's probably the most likely scenario at the moment as far as here on the U.S. soil. We have a lot of sleeper cells in the U.S. and again, that is probably the most likely is going to be a complete grid down scenario. And if that happens, we're screwed, guys. I don't know if you guys watch CP at all, but he did an interview with somebody who works for the government, and they do war game scenarios. They do all kinds of stuff. Sorry if I'm sniffling and I sound like crazy. Pollen, it's getting to me. But yeah, this guy does wartime scenarios, guys. Best case scenarios, whatever the case may have you. And he's basically talking that the best thing you could have is food. The reason for that is you're not going to be walking the streets searching for food in a grid down scenario. Food and water are your main things, guys. For the first year, it's going to be hell. It's going to be pure hell. And he kind of confirmed everything I've been talking. If there's a complete grid down scenario, guys, your emergency services are null and void. They're going to go away. The military does not have a plan. For those of you who didn't know, the military does not have a plan for a complete grid down scenario. Why? Because it's never happened. They don't know how to prepare for it. Same with FEMA, guys. FEMA does not have a plan for a complete grid down scenario. If this country goes black due to the attacks on power grids and everything else, you're screwed. Well, unless you're prepared. Military, you know, everything military runs on electric. They only have 24 to 48 hours worth of diesel at any military base to run their systems. All their systems run on electricity, guys, whether it be water, lights, AC, I mean, computers, everything. Everything runs on electricity. Same with police, fire, EMS. Everything runs on electricity nowadays. And if we have a complete grid down scenario, that's... An EMP is the biggest, easiest way for any country, Iran, Russia, North Korea, whatever. That is the biggest way to cripple the U.S., to literally take us out, bring us back to the Stone Age. If you want to bring America to its knees, take out the power grid. And that's the most likely scenario. And when that happens, guys, there's a couple things I wanted to cover that CP also covered, but I kind of wanted to reiterate because they're great talking points, okay? First of all, you're going to want to keep your group small. You're going to want to have enough people to where, you know, somebody can sleep, somebody can keep watch, but you guys are going to want to be careful. You guys got to remember, in a complete grid down scenario, if this happens, in a complete grid down scenario, everything is going to be heightened because you're going to have no noise. You know what I mean? Everything's going to be dead silent for the most part, except for people shooting and breaking glass and Especially if there's an EMP, guys. You're not going to hear vehicles. It's going to be dead quiet. So running a generator, that's going to alert people to your location, okay? It's going to be pitch black out because you're not going to have any ambient light from the cities and whatever else, other than what you get from the moon. Hold on a second. Anyway, so this right here, guy was talking about he was doing war games. And they were out in the mountains. There is no electricity. There is no, city lighting. There's no nothing. It's just peaceful. It's tranquil. It's pitch black. The dude was a couple mountains away, smoking a cigarette. And this guy that works for the government was talking about he could see a glowing orange light. Well, that glowing orange light is this. At night, if you know anybody that smokes, when you hit a cigarette, that cherry gets a little brighter and then it dims out after you're done hitting the cigarette. He could see that from quite a distance because it's pitch black. So in a grid down scenario, guys, basically what I'm getting at is you're gonna wanna have food and water, okay? Going out, venturing out, scavenging, it's not going to be an option, guys. Firing a gun is going to alert people to your location. Barking dogs is going to alert people to your location. Light is going to alert people to your location. Smoke from a fire pit, anything, guys, is going to alert people to your location. And you got to remember, there's a lot of people that watch these prepping channels. I mean, look how many subscribers Canadian Prepper has. It's ridiculous how many people watch these prepping channels. But for the amount of people that actually watch these prepping channels, there's just as many who don't. So people aren't getting, there's half of the population, say, that isn't getting ready. Now, when shit really hits the fan, these people are going to be without food. They're going to be without water. They're going to be walking. They're going to be searching for anything. Any little thing that can alert them to your location, a barking dog, a lit cigarette, a flashlight, a campfire, anything is going to bring them in. And you don't know what kind of people those are. You don't know if they're hostile. You don't know if it's somebody really down on their luck. Either way, remain hidden. Have a bug out location. Get ready to go. Because you're not going to want to deal with these sort of people. Because if one person finds out and you let them leave, even if it's a barter item, guys, and yes, I used to preach barter items, but after hearing what I heard last night, it's kind of changing my opinion a little bit. Somebody comes to your camp wanting to trade a chicken for a goat, and they leave, and I'm just using that as an example, probably not actual, they might trade a couple cigarettes for a scoop of coffee or something, or a sandwich, or you know what I mean? But then they leave. Well, what's to say they don't go tell a bunch of other people what you have at your camp? Now the next thing you know, you have 20, 30 people running in trying to take what you got. Like, oh, this guy's got stuff and we're starving. Let's go, take what he's got. So you got to be really careful. So the biggest thing you guys are going to want to prep for is obviously protection. Have a bunch of freedom seeds. You guys know what I'm talking about. Freedom seeds. And just stay quiet, guys. Get out to the middle of nowhere. Don't be seen. Don't be heard. Sorry about that. But you're going to want to have food. You're going to want to have water. It's going to be hell for upwards of 6 months to a year, guys. Are you going to have that much food? No. I don't even have that much food. Well, I might. I'm not 100% certain on that. But either way, your biggest things you're going to want to have is food and water. Have medical supplies. Have freedom seeds, lots of them. And freedom seed planters, if you will. but prepare for it, guys. The stuff going on is absolutely insane. Did you hear one of Russia's red lines was, you know, they don't want nuclear weapons in European countries. Well, the U.S. is getting ready to move, or not, maybe not the U.S., but NATO, with the help of France and a couple other countries, they're getting ready to move over 300 nuclear weapons over to, like, the Poland area, which is right on the border of Russia. And what has Russia said about that? They said absolutely not. So once these nuclear weapons start moving in, guys, it's going to be hell, okay? So I don't know what the first course of action is going to be. I mean, I'm just your average Joe truck driver. But I can tell you what, I'm ready for whatever's about to come down the pipe. Well, at least I hope I'm ready. And that was another point another YouTuber had made when I was watching them yesterday. I watched several yesterday. And they basically said, you think you're ready, but you're not. When it really comes down to shit hits the fan, you're not going to have half the shit that you think you're going to need. So it's time to just get stocked up, guys. Canned foods, dry beans, rice, canned meats, water, freedom seed planters. Don't forget about your pets. You guys are going to want to stock up on pet food, because if you're taking security dogs or anything like that, you're going to have to feed them too. And you know, one squirrel on a stick isn't going to cut it for a dog. Hell, it's not going to cut it for a human. Maybe my granddaughter, but that's about it. Either way, guys, it's getting bad. The U.S. keeps poking the bear, guys, and they're not going to stop. November's approaching. We're going to see what happens with that, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with this election, guys. I really don't think there's going to be one. If I'm being 100% honest, and I've told you the guys this before, I really don't think there's going to be an election. But you're going to want to have your shit in order. I don't even think you can reverse this. So even if Trump got in 24 this year during the election, which I highly doubt is going to happen, as much as I would like to see that happen, I highly doubt it's going to happen. But I just don't foresee anything changing. We're too deep into this. We're literally, without them actually coming out and saying it, we're at World War III. There's just no way around it. So get stocked up, guys. It's this is turning into a nightmare, and I don't know. It's crazy, because every day while I'm at work driving down the highway, I'm just kind of looking off into the sky, daydreaming, and I'm like, when am I going to see that rocket fly overhead? When am I going to see these city lights off in the distance? When am I going to see those just go whoop, go out? No more lights. Just everything go black all at once. Oh, and don't mind that Wesco cup. There was a bird trying to build a nest over my light right here. I had a Wesco cup. I stuck it up there. The bird quit trying to build a nest up above my light. So don't mind my Wesco cup. Don't make fun of me. It works. It's not dumb if it works. But anyway. So, yeah, just prepare for whatever you can, really. I mean, can you prepare for everything? Absolutely not. But can you be as ready as possible? Absolutely. Again, you know, just kind of have your bases covered, guys. You know, food, water, whatever have you. And oh, that was the other point I wanted to cover too. If you guys prepare to stay at home, if you guys prepare to bug in, which a lot of people say, oh, well, just bug in. It's going to be better for you if you just bug in. Well, the problem with that, guys, is if you see, hold on, let me turn. See all these houses? See all these houses around me? There's plenty more where those came from. My house, literally, if I leave and go this way, I hit the highway. It's 2 corners and I hit the highway. But back off over that way is a lot of downtown. And there's going to be people walking everywhere. There's a lot of criminals. They're going to be doing B&Es. They're going to be breaking into cars. They're going to, whatever they can get their hands on, guys, because the city's going to be black. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to have all the cover of darkness. It's going to be the deadliest at night. And that brings me... So, if you plan to bug in... Sorry, I'm jumping around a little bit. If you plan to bug in, have a plan to black out your windows, guys. Completely blacked out, especially if you're using any sort of light in your house, because you don't want to give it away that you're home. And make sure you have your Freedom Seeds and Freedom Seed planters ready, because if they decide to come in your home, you need to be prepared to defend it. If that's not something you're willing to do, then you guys need to have a bug out location. Deep in the woods somewhere. Deep in the woods. Basically off the beaten path, guys. If there's a path there, you don't want to be there, because other people are going to head that way. You want to be off the beaten path. You want to be deep into the woods. You want to have a 360 view of your surrounding area, and you want to remain stealthy. No light if you can avoid it. No smoke if you can avoid it. You know, start Googling or looking up here on YouTube on how to do a Dakota fire hole. They don't give off very much smoke. You might be able to smell it, but you won't be able to see it. So learn how to dig a Dakota fire hole. Learn how to use rocket stoves. Those give off very little smoke. You know what I mean? And that brings me into my next point, guys. Daytime is your best friend. Daytime, you're going to be able to get everything done. Nighttime, as soon as that sun starts going down, you want to go down. Lock and load, get ready, defend your property, defend your area, whatever the case may be. But you do not want to be up moving around, using flashlights, dogs barking, everything else at night. Yes, there's going to be a lot of people moving at night, but that's where you have security. If you got 8 to 10 people in your group, cool. Hopefully everybody's pulling their weight. Even if you only have 4 to 5 people in your group, cool. Hopefully everybody's pulling their weight. But whoever's the strongest in the group, whoever's the most proficient in Freedom Seeds and Freedom Seed planters, is going to have to stand watch. You guys are going to have to take turns, you know, a couple hours sleep here, a couple hours sleep there, get up, change out with the next guy. It's going to get bad. I'm preparing for it. I'm ready for it. I got a couple different places I can go, but don't show your hand, guys. If something's to happen tonight, then you got to bug out. Don't show your hand. And if you're not prepared to bug in, if you live in a city and you're not prepared for people to come raiding your house and whatever else, well, you need to bug out within the first day or two. You need to get the hell out. Grab all your shit and go. Get out to the middle of nowhere where it's safer. The cities are not going to be safe. And I feel sorry for them poor bastards that live in, say, like Atlanta, Georgia, San Francisco, California, New York, Chicago. Oh, it is going to be pure hell. Pure hell. I live in a smaller city. It's not too small, but I live in a smaller city. Thank God. And I should be able to get out with relative ease, even if it is on foot, guys. I got four-wheeler right here. Runs. This one runs. And I can easily hook one of my appliance dollies to it with all my food and everything stacked on it. And we can walk alongside of it. I can have my daughter drive it. And we can hit the bike trails and we can get out to safety. I've already mapped the plan, or mapped the path, and yeah, we can get out of town. I may not have my camper and a couple other things, but it is what it is. If it comes right down to it, there's a few things I need. My Freedom Seeds, my food, my water, and my family. Everything else I can build by hand. You can build shacks out of logs, and you know, you can find shacks off into the woods and old abandoned campers. I mean, it's not going to be pretty. but you can live there. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to do what you're going to have to do. But regardless of the fact, guys, be ready, okay? This country's getting crazy. There's a lot of strange stuff going on. The doomsday planes are up flying around. The U.S. is preparing for attacks on our soil, and I really think it's going to be our power grids, guys. There's already been several attacks on them. I don't know if it's going to be a cyber attack that wipes out our power grid, or if it's going to be, an EMP. Either way, I think that's the most likely scenario to hit first is power grid outage. So get ready, guys. Get stocked up and prepare the best you can. To black out your windows. If you plan to bug in, I don't know how you guys are going to do that. Some really thick spray paint, stuff and towels around your door frames so they don't see light admitting out your door, or emitting out your door, not admitting. Whatever you guys got to do, especially if you live in the city. But I highly suggest, warmer weather's coming. I highly suggest you guys get out, map it out, find some state land, federal land, and just go for a drive. And maybe have a GPS with you, map it out, drive it a few times if you find a location that you like, that seems secure, and plan it out, guys. Walk the woods, find a little spot to set up camp, make sure there's nobody else around, walk it, a couple thousand feet in every direction, make sure there's nothing around. Try to have it by a fresh water source, guys. Streams, rivers, lakes, whatever. For fresh water, yeah, you're gonna have to boil it, strain it, filter it, whatever, but it is what it is. Most of us are gonna, well, not most of us, but there's a handful of us that are gonna make it through whatever may come. Hopefully nothing, but if it happens, it happens, guys. But there's only gonna be a handful of us that make it. Just be ready. Love y'all. Till next time. Michigan Prepared out.